On one side, you have Omega. On the other side, you have Okada. When they meet in the middle, it's generally something spectacular. Hey everybody, it's Kellen Nitro, and this is Nitro's take on the New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion 2017 main event, Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega for the IWGP Heavyweight title. First off, I want to extend kudos to the announce team, Kevin Kelly and Don Callis. I thought that they did a exemplary job of explaining the action and calling the action during this match. They're pretty good. It reminded me watching this match of almost very early Mauro Ranallo, Bas Rutten, Pride FC. Like, it didn't feel like a pro wrestling match. It felt like an actual sporting event listening to these guys try to call it. Great mix of over-the-top color commentary from Callis and just a straight-ahead play-by-play of Kevin Kelly during this match. So, kudos. I have not seen the full card yet. I've just seen the main event match. But if the entirety of the rest of the card is like this, then it was a great show. Getting to this match, was it as good as the match that the two had at Wrestle Kingdom? In my opinion, I'm going to say no. And here's the reason why. What we saw at Wrestle Kingdom in January was a first. This was the first time in a long time that anybody had even ventured to go that style and that route, and that way of storytelling. So it was refreshing, and it was a first time meeting, as far as I can remember, in a main event circle between Okada and Omega for the IWGP belt. So of course that will leave the impression that, and with the build up with Okada winning the G1 the year before, etc., I think that in itself is enough to warrant the Wrestle Kingdom match, just maybe a little bit above the Dominion match. But the Dominion match is right there on its heels. I think it's up there. It's amazing. This month we've had Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate over on the WWE NXT side tear the house down in Chicago. And now we've had these two again tear the house down in Osaka. So June's been a really good month for wrestling fans, for sure. And man, just unstoppable momentum, for sure. The match itself, although it went the hour time limit draw, it didn't feel like an hour to me. It felt like it was shorter for whatever reason. Now, I know for sure that that's not the case, because what I've seen and timed out in real time and everything, it did go an hour. But it felt like it was more like a 30 or 40 minute match. Like, those guys were moving so fast, and there were moves that I haven't even seen done that way in either A, a long time, or B, like ever like that. So those guys again were pulling out all the stops. The story on Okada's knee during the match was pretty good, but again, the bane of pro wrestling / sports entertainment nowadays is when Okada started making the comeback later in the match, he's not selling the knee at all, and that's one thing that I miss. Is just that, you know, you have to allude to, once they do a number on that knee, you have to sell that knee. That's the thing, or that body part. If your body part's hurt in the first 20 minutes of the match, it has to be sold in such a way that for the rest of the match that affects you. And that's just, if there's one negative coming out of that match, that's the only real negative coming out of that. It's just it's not just an issue with those guys, it's an issue with everybody in 2017 now, because it just seems like, you know, there's a certain point in the match where everybody gets one-upped and it's 100% better again. It's like, oh, you know, and unless it's part of a finish, you don't see anybody sell the body part that's hurt anymore. So I'd like to see more of that. That being said, though, like I said, this match had the feeling to me of an old NWA late 1980s Flair Steamboat type match. This entire feud's had that feel to me. Like we've just seen, if you want to consider Wrestle Kingdom 11, the Chi-Town Rumble, this was the Clash of the Champions match. So I think now, thinking back now in 1989, I think Wrestle War was the one where Flair finally got the belt off of Steamboat in the match at Wrestle Wars. So will that happen? Will that end up later on down the line? Maybe next year's Wrestle Kingdom, if Omega is still with the company, if Okada is still with the company. I think there's a third match definitely between the two that is coming. I've loved to harken back to the time, again with the finish, I love to harken back with the time limit draw. That is just so old school to me. I love it, and it makes the fact that New Japan has always given time cues during their matches, but the fact that the time cue was given during that match, and it ended that way, that's old school to me. That's me watching old wrestling tapes from Blockbuster back in, the late 90s or something, of 1980s stuff of like Flair and Dusty and everything. So it brought a tear to the old glass eye. Big ups, great match. If you haven't had a chance to see it, go check it out. It's on New Japan World. That's a great service. I highly recommend it. Go check it out. And they're coming to North America July 1st, Canada Day weekend up here, but they're coming to Long Beach, and it's going to be good. I wish I had Access TV, but I'll talk to you guys about it for sure. Definitely. Alright, folks, so that's my take on the New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion main event. Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada. Okada retains via time limit draw. Let me know what you think. I'm Kellen Nitro. Later days, and we'll see you next time.